Welcome back to GT and the chair assignment for all of the students that are in my two classes. I'll make the same video and send it to you this evening. I just wanted to check in with you and to get you to submit by sort of Sunday night, early next week, most of what we will consider to be criterion A, because you've already been doing some work on this and I just want to assess where we're up to. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples now of work from my class last semester, and you can just take a look at these examples and then check through your criterion A in the next week and add the things that you need to. So if we look at the investigation, we've started off with this sort of idea of an explanation and justification for why we're doing it. We don't necessarily need to have this much text, but you can clearly see here that we're looking into this idea of small spaces and showing some evidence for the need for this. We need to feel that there's a necessary reason for this product. So there's some research here into the space that's available in Hong Kong. Then there's also some research into what is user-centered design. You're going to talk to the grade 4 students, so this will be an easy task for you to get some information from them, but we'll make a start at it like this way. The next thing that we might see in your investigation is your research plan. Where am I going to find the information? How will I collect it? We want some information literacy sort of statements coming in here in terms of, and judgments about what you might expect the resources to be like. There's also some research here about what is a chair in the first place, and I've encouraged my classes always to make this sort of statement in the corner here, which I've called a process or evaluative statement, and that's sort of just to take a step back from the project and just to be looking at why am I doing this and how is it helping me, and justifying what you're doing on each page. So if you can put that on each page, I think that would be a really good thing to help with your learning, not just for this project, but for your learning in general. So you need to be thinking about what I need to do and what I need to study in order to make a better chair. You guys have already made some prototypes and done some things like that, so you're going all right with that. The next thing we'll get you to do is something that's relatively standard for you, and you should remember how to do this quite easily, and that's to go through, find some chair examples, and in this case you might have to use some of the examples that I've put online for you, and or find some examples online yourself, and then look at the chairs, try to assess them in some way, give them a ranking for child friendliness. Look at what makes them a chair, what makes them safe, what makes them usable, what makes them perfect for little kids. And finally, it might round out your investigation by actually just getting your questions in order here. How can I make a safe chair? How can I decorate a chair? What's the idea of us using plywood? How is that going to work? As well as the idea of ergonomics, anthropometrics, etc., and the idea of the circular economy. So that's just a quick overview of one assignment. Here's a second example. We've got our explanation and justification to kick things off. We've got our research plan here with collected resources, etc. We then move through to sorting out our questions that are going to be asked in the client interview. I think you might have already done some of this. We've got some measurements from the client interview, so you might want to leave some spaces for that. We've got some ergonomics and anthropometrics information there. We need to do some referencing, so at this stage I'm probably happy if you just put in the website and the reference, but you're not going to be able to get all this information from anywhere. You need to use your information literacy skills to get it from somewhere, so reference it please. We've got the idea of the circular economy, then the user-centered design. I think that could have been a little bit more of a focus in this assignment than it was. Then we've got some information about joints. You can put pictures in here about your about the mock-up models that you've made, etc. That would be really appropriate at this stage, and then discussion about that. The other thing that I'd really like you to do is I've asked you to download the AutoCAD software and practice on that. You can write about that a little bit, because that's, you're investigating how to manufacture this product. Okay, and that's one of the techniques that you will use. And so it's a legitimate investigation in order to do that. So you need to be downloading AutoCAD and getting that started. We're then looking at existing products. Once again, you know how to do this. This is just another format for this, how it's done. You can take a look at that. And then we come up at the end with the design brief, which I didn't show you in the first example. This is probably once again a little bit long and wordy. We need to keep that relatively brief. We'll just quickly look at a third example. Once again, explanation, justification. We've got our research questions here. What is a circular economy and what's circular design? How sustainable is it, etc. Someone's decided to drill a hole in the roof above me, sorry. How can I ensure that my product is going to be safe? Okay, so then where am I going to collect this information from? Justifying all of that. We move through here to some solid research on these things, about plywood, about user-centered design, about how we should be having rounded corners, for instance, because they might protect from cuts on fabric, but rounded corners also are a huge thing in terms of constructing things, because they mean that the propagation of cracks are far lessened, and so your product can be far more durable. So then down the bottom here we have this idea of design for manufacture. So if we keep going through this, once again we've got the products on show and what we can learn from them, ideas we can take out of them, ideas that we don't want to use, interviews with clients. If you've got a little brother or sister at home, this would be a good opportunity in this 4 weeks to actually interview them in order to get rid of be able to not get rid of them, but get rid of the assignment and get rid of that section of the assignment, I was going to say. So then finishing off here with the design brief, etc., and you can get that done. Okay, sorry for such a long video. You just need to focus on working through these sections of the criterion A. I'll check them on Sunday night and see where we're up to. I'd like to finish A by the middle of next week so that we can get into some sketching and get things done. And the other thing you can do, remember, is to get AutoCAD downloaded and have a bit of a practice with that. I've uploaded some videos that will teach you how to use AutoCAD, and it will save you a lot of time in B. All right, work hard and stay positive. I know it's not easy to be positive at home when you're all on your own there, but maintain some contact and do some exercises and do your best. Okay, thank you.